speaking a bit quietly because this is the first class section of the KCR, which is the train that takes you all the way up to the new territories in Hong Kong. And I am going to see what food there is on offer. I've got my mum with me. And will the food be worth it? All this travel? Will we survive tonight? We'll see.
Hong Kong is a proper city. More than 7 million people packed into not very much space makes it super crowded and a little crazy, but it also makes for a lot of good food wherever you go. The reason we're heading all the way north to Tai Po in the New Territories is because my mother used to live there and we haven't been back together since 2011. Now, we're returning to see what kind of off-the-beaten-track goodies Tai Po has for us. The first stop, Yat Lok, the OG of roast goose.
Instead of just roast goose, we've ended up with 3 types of roast meat. The goose is still on the way. There's roast pork, and there is white chicken. I know it doesn't sound very appetizing, but I think it'll be nice. We've also got noodle soup. This is Lai Fan, and it's like a thick, chewy noodle. It goes very well with the goose. That's their specialty here. So I guess we just wait for the goose to arrive. The skin is so crispy.
And yet the meat is not hard.
Yeah. I know this is a roast goose restaurant. The truth is I don't normally eat roast pork. I don't like it all that much because sometimes it's very rubbery. But this one, the fat, it really does melt in your mouth and the skin is really crispy. Very good. Alright, that's so good. This is very fresh. I mean, the guy is like literally running past our table with freshly roasted geese in his hand. So this came straight out of the oven. Let's not waste any time. I give you one chance to show how you would be a food presenter. So try my job. So you have to
First you
make
dip
it look. Oh, okay.
First
fine.
you dip it in
Instructions.
this sweet and sour sauce, 酸梅酱 ah. That's very good.
That's all. You have to describe it.
The skin is crispy. The meat is soft and it's hot. It's not like, you know, something that's been hanging there for hours. I can barely talk with food in my mouth.
You see, that's the number one trick to being a food host is take a small bite so that you're not the whole time.
I think she's got a big mouthful. So much for the small mouthful.
It's so good. The skin, it's like almost glass-like. It's so crunchy. And then you have this layer of fat which is really, really, really rich. It has a very strong goose flavor, but it melts, and then you have the meat underneath. And then just it's why you take small mouthfuls. The meat goes so well with the sweetness and the slight sourness from the plum sauce. This was definitely worth the ferry, taxi, and train that we took to get here to Tai Po. After a meal that was very filling, very rich, we have walked about 2 minutes away to this traditional-ish Tatanteng called Wa Fai. Wa
Fai.
I thought you said bad word. Wa Fai. No.
Wa Fai.
Wa Fai. And we're gonna have some dessert. So Tatanteng is a very traditional part of Hong Kong life. It's these little cafes, and people have their breakfast here, their lunch, their dinner, their supper. They stay open for a really long time, and they serve very earthy food. So instant noodles with luncheon meat, that kind of thing. It's very flaky. It's falling apart. Oh, very good.
Very good. Really? Even after the goose, it's still very good.
The pastry is very good. It's very crumbly and flaky and very buttery. It has a lot of flavor just on its own, but inside you have a chicken filling that's creamy, but they have been really generous here with the amount of meat that they put in there. This is basically a meal on its own, so don't do this at home, guys. Don't follow up a meal with roast goose, roast meat, noodle soup with a slice of chicken pie, because just leave it to the experts, you know. And now let's try the apple pie. It actually really looks like apple pies that I've had in New York or the UK. It was very traditional. It's good. It's not too sweet. The apple filling really tastes like apple. It's nice and soft and tender, but it's not mushy. And then you have the very buttery, very flaky pastry on the outside. This is seriously actually maybe one of the best apple pies I've ever had in my life. Who would have thought in Tai Po, in the New Territories, in Hong Kong, in a random Thai thing with an Indonesian mural on the wall, you will find the best traditional New York style apple pie. What? There's like a TV hanging in the corner and it's playing one of these very dramatic Hong Kong soap operas, and people are here eating and just watching TV here, so it kind of feels like very villagey, like very communal, almost like this is the town center where people come to have a snack and watch their favorite show. So is Tai Po like a bit of a village?
It's a small town. It's a market town. So, you know, there used to be villages, and there are still villages. And then there was a lot more farming. Although some of them do still have kitchen garden, but not full scale. So this used to be the market town where people will bring the produce to sell. That's one reason why the food here is good, because everything's kind of fresh.
2 meals down in Tai Po and 1 to go, but we're very stuffed, so we're going to take a walk around the neighborhood. Maybe my mom will remember where she used to live, because right now she's just pointing at random apartments going, do you think I used to live there? So we'll see.
So I on that road.
When you're on this main road,
I can't remember whole year. I want to go and see my old apartment.
it's back there. Before we slipped into a food coma, for real, we decided to fit in the third stop of tonight. This is Tan Hon Gay. I'm very sure I pronounced that wrongly. It is a restaurant that specializes in clay pot rice and chong fan. And chong fan is basically this, a really nice, silky, translucent, steamed rice roll. And this is the zha leung version, which means it is wrapped around, yes, fried dough. So this is carbs on carbs. Should I just do it all? Oh. This is sweet sauce. This is, I guess, chili.
It's mustard.
No, sesame.
Sesame.
Aiyo.
Almost an artwork.
Exactly, almost an artwork.
叫俾啲芝麻。
哦，多啲。
唔係
芝麻。哦，芝麻。哦，
芝麻，
有冇
你俾芝麻佢啊？
啊
Okay, action.
Wow. Let's try this.
So far, the Tai Po food has passed the full stomach test.
The full stomach test means even though you're full, it still tastes good. That's true. I think I may have gone a little bit overboard with the sauce, to be honest. But it is really delicious. The sesame sauce is very nutty. And you have that nice chewy fried fritter inside, the soft chong fan on the outside, and then all the different sauces. And the chili sauce actually does have quite a kick. If you ever come here, go easy on the chili sauce. We decided to go for the seasonal preserved meat clay pot rice. And I know preserved meats really doesn't sound that good in English, but trust me, it sounds much better in Chinese. So this looks to me like yin cheng, which is liver sausage. Then in the middle you have lap cheng, which is just regular preserved sausage. And then here you have the preserved pork belly. So this is 3 different flavors of preserved meats. It all looks kind of samey, but they don't taste the same. I am kind of spying on the couple that's sharing a table with us and seeing how they eat it. So what they do is they actually take the meat off and then they toss the rice around. And then they give you this little bowl of sauce, which is like dark soy sauce mixed with some oil. That's what it looks like. I'm just gonna pour it on and then toss it. So I'm just mixing the sauce in, but also I'm scraping up all the crispy bits at the bottom. See? Look at that. That's really crispy. This is so good.
Yeah, another one passes the full stomach.
I actually haven't added that much sauce, but somehow the rice has a lot of flavor. It's like, it tastes like rice but amplified, and the crunchy bits, they really have that smoky flavor. I'm guessing they cook this over charcoal because it tastes like it. I'll try the sausage. So good. Sometimes these preserved sausages, especially the liver ones, they can be a bit dry and a little bit chewy, but this one, when you bite into it, it just pops in your mouth. There's so much juice, so much flavor. I said I was full before, but you know what? That feels like a year ago. It's all gone. Just now when we were in there having claypot rice, we were sharing a table with this couple that looked pretty stony-faced to start with, but after a while, the lady was offering us tips on how to have our claypot rice, what to put on our chong fan, and basically just have the best experience. So people are so nice here, and Tai Po is definitely the closest thing to a village that I've come across in Hong Kong, even down to the thumping music and sports cars around. Is it like how you remember it?
Well, I didn't come with the foodie like you, so I didn't like try out like this is the best or that's the best. But I ate decently, and I went to the Cha San Neng, and I usually have a set.
But today's food has been very good, right?
Yes, it's past the full stomach test.
That's the full stomach test, and it is a very full stomach because we just had 3 meals in a row. But it's totally worth it, and it was completely worth the long trek it takes to come here. So if you're in Hong Kong and you want to eat some good food and meet some nice people, come to Tai Po for yourself.
This way.
Oh, let's walk to the station.